Today is a great Tuesday because we have very interesting section on the intersection between the real world and the virtual, and it's called Interactive AI from the research to real world impact. I think you've been also always curious how those interactive technology affected by the disruptional technology Gen AI. And that's exactly what is today conversation about from the team who has been working for that for a decade and making sure that such solutions are implemented into the real life. So before to introduce you our speakers, just want to remind we have a time for the questions. So feel free to ask them in the chat and they will be answered in the end of the meeting. And so that encourage you to do that. And of course, let me present our speakers. So Sam Frisch is the practice leader of our interactive group. He is working with the interactive domain, I think, one of the longest people at SoftServe, starting from the mobile application and the XR towards today, much more complex technologies like 3D generation, etc. I think actually Sam was one of the first people who has been involved in the first production implementation of the digital twin project with Omniverse. So that's, I think, tells a lot about Sam Frisch background and mindset. The second speaker is Igor Romanovich. He is senior R&D engineer who has experience in building cutting-edge immersive experiences for the demos that are world known for the SoftServe, as well as closely hands-on working with the Gen AI application implementations, both in 3D and in other modalities. So exciting for the next hour of our today's session and pass the word toward Sam to kick it off.
Thank you for this digital twin mention. And I see Roger, with whom we started this part with NVIDIA. Thank you. And yes, we are talking about interactive AI from research to real world. Thank you, Bogdan, for introduction and for fantastic support. And Igor, let's start.
Let's start, Sam. So today we will talk about a bit of summary about AI state and our background, about hype cycles, Rogers curves, magic triangles, some markets and landscapes, time versus money for the AI, some gambling, some challenges, and some cases, and we will conclude the presentation. And please, Sam, let's kick it off.
We were thinking about the next intelligence frontiers, about what's next in AI, and we found out at least 2 points of view. First is from the humans' view. Humans tend to keep everything in their hands, to tell everybody not human to be explainable, predictable, like this was a previous frontier, but now we see that most of technology underlying AIs and underlying models are black boxes. So, okay, we would be interested in explainability, but practically we are more interested in next part, like interactivity. We have here more agency, more control, more feedback, and more ability to interact and modify. And on the AI's view, Igor, show us please AI's view. We see here like timeline. So the past AI is static and predictive, and the future is responsive, co-creative, and in terms of our team, positively toxic. So in like an example, the future AIs won't just answer you. They answer if you ask, but they will notice that you are frustrated and need more help with your ideas. You are not prepared to talk and a bit nervous, and you need some calm down before this big pitch, and so on and so forth. And we see on the picture that first is like confused humans, and human is telling the AI what to do, and they found some kind of synergy, and we are going to talk about the synergy through this presentation.
So, a bit of our background. We've played a lot with Gen AI, especially with Gen AI 3D. We did cats, we did experiences, a lot of stuff basically. And our dream is not just make a cat, but make a unicorn with that will take humans with him for an interesting creative journey. So that's how we came to the interactive AI.
And now to more analytical, more strict stuff. Here we have hype cycle from Gardner, and this curve is from August this year. We were trying to place interactive AI somewhere on this curve on different definitions which we found in literature and reports. And we have 2 points here in green and red. In green is low-hanging fruit or entry point, where interactive AI is interconnection with AI agents which are trending, with engineering, with multimodal AI, with these things which are on the plateau, and we are working day by day, or our team's working day by day with that. But when we started to deeper, actually using AI, definitely, we seen that interactive AI is like challenge, like in long-term perspective, is close to those emerging growing points which very challenging artificial general intelligence, but composite or neuro symbiotic are close to that. So we definitely looking at this challenging and fantastic future, and putting our hands dirty with what is on the need today. And the next slide concludes more curves. So we tried to find out more info to predict if we take hype cycle and Roger curve, they will intersect, and you'll find this point after the chasm and after the early adoption. Not to build prediction something reasonable, and to put it to some numbers, we taken two curves for smartphones adoption and for the cloud adoption. We had their points with first cloud, which is AWS, and then the next clouds like Azure, and then mass adoption with marketplaces there. The same for smartphones. We have 2006 for iPhone, then Android moment, then moment of both stores and so on. We see with this such interpolation, so generative AI now it's on the top, and in 2027 it should be close to mainstream adoption, and this time for agentic and interactive AI would be the moment of being on the plateau. So we are trying to bet on that, going from generative to interactive in the right moment. And then we built this triangle for the previous presentations, and it's a newer version with heavy people. But anyways, we see that those circles are interconnected, and such a big phenomena like generative or agentic AI can be described in one or two sentences. So in agentic, we are focusing on what we will do next. In generative, we are focusing on what sensation would like or wish to create by people with AI. And interactive, how does those people feel and what will they do or say to trigger this agent or to trigger this generation or to trigger this agent to trigger this generation. So we have this pretty stable ecosystem and we are going to work like that on those existing titans and with pre-existing interaction because everything should be pressed, triggered, or told.
And then for the stuff that needs to be told, we have a small research and market potential overview. So there are three main focus areas that we highlighted. They are multimodal emotional AI. Basically, the research question here is how can interactive AI reliably interpret emotional cues to enhance user interactions? Like, for example, you're preparing for the presentation and AI sees that you're anxious about it and it will comfort you, it will calm you down before it. So the impact of your presentation will be greater. And this multimodal emotional AI is projected to grow to about 388 billion till 2030. The next focus area is the realistic digital humans and avatars. And the main research question here is how can interactive AI create emotionally aware avatars and digital humans? It is projected to grow to about 270 billion till 2030. And last but not least, generative and agentic AI for storytelling and gaming. And the main question here is how can interactive AI enable high quality interactive storytelling and gaming with Gen AI? And it is expected to grow to around $213 billion till 2030. And as for the landscape for the next 2 years, the trends are agentic multimodal AI, generative worlds, digital humans, and smart spaces. We should be on the outlook for pervasive AI agents, AICG for AR, VR, and games, and enterprise AI platforms, of course. There are a lot of players, and there are a hand of small players. A small hand of big players. The big players are Apple, Google, Meta, and Microsoft, of course. They are big tech and they are representing infrastructure and cloud as well, alongside with AWS and NVIDIA. Also, we highlighted some generative AI companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, Mistral. There are a few labs and research like Google's DeepMind, Fair, LNAI. There are a few startups like Runway, Rewind, and Rabbit. And also we highlighted Neurotech because we like it, and they are Neuralink and Kernel. And as you can see on the right, agentic and interactive AI are both originating from generative AI, but they are a bit of different branches. But as Sam mentioned, they are in one triangle and complementing each other, I would say. So, yeah.
And here to time and money, we built illustrative trajectories according to the previous slides, how those 400 billions could be Distributed there, we have three trajectories for generative AI, which is coming to its peak and slowing down closer to 2027. Agentic AI, which is climbing up very fast, and interactive somewhere in between. We have break-even points, and somehow the data says that the break-even for interactive should be much closer into the future than 2029 for agentic. And we are trying to and going to check, will it be so or better or worse? I believe better.
And about beliefs and gambling, here we have a chart so you can place your bets, but remember the house always wins. On this chart, this is an overlap between the research momentum and hardware availability. The indexes are from 1 to 20. And yeah, basically this is it. You can place your bets for any given year and any given technology, like streaming ISR, turn taking, multimodal effects, agent planning, safety, guardrails, generative image and videos, audio and music, 3D assets, haptics and kinesthetic, and consumer EEGs. And for the agent planning and safety guardrails, for example, we have almost all of the hardware, so the indexes are greater. And if you see in the dark places, the indexes are very low here. So low that you can't even read the numbers. And from the gambling to the challenges, we have highlighted quite a bit of them, but let's talk about the main ones. The first one is the emotion understanding, understanding emotion intent, resolving conflicts with user, and so on and so forth. Also, the next challenge is the co-creation logic, who controls what, when, and emotional feedback loop and correct emotional feedback loop. So the user will understand, not like understand, but feel that AI is enhances his creative skills and creative logic. The next challenge is the AI empathy simulation. The main challenge here is avoiding fake empathy, overacting, underacting, and also modulating emotional response per user personality. The next challenge, of course, is ethics and safety, because AI can do some emotional manipulation or persuasion, and our world can be turned to the Terminator franchise. We don't want that, so we need some safety here. And the next challenge is technical, because we need more of memory, less latency, and more scalability for AI systems. So we need more hardware, basically, and hardware availability on the market. And the last challenge is the adoption, like the UX design, to teach users how to adopt the system, how to work with them, how this system work best, like best practices for them, and so on and so forth. And from the challenges, let's jump to the cases. And
Yes,
I
let me
believe,
introduce
yeah.
cases. As we said, it's cases, not use cases, because one of them is mixed two altogether. And the cases are virtual and real. We have one virtual, this one actually, to have some freedom to dream and to do something into the future. And for real cases, which we already implemented as a demos or with our clients, uh, So here's the first one is about interactive AI co-creation. It's firstly virtual because we haven't implemented it yet, even as a pilot, and it's virtual because we have to hear virtual headsets. We taken as a base several publications from SIGGRAPH where similar functionality and demo was built and see the nice potential how to extend it. And we built here a virtual solution so we can use consumer-grade brain-computer interface devices like Muse 2 or Muse 2 antenna, which is like Muse 2 but with a RNIs, uh, few fast in near infrared sensor, and together with Neurable, which already sold out, but it's actively pre-ordering, we can create a demo for 2 or more people on existing headsets like Quest 3, PlayStation or Index, PlayStation VR 2 or Index. And firstly, like it was one creates other fields and it increases social ability of people. And extension, several people co-create and synchronize their rhythms and use the power of generative AI models like our potential partner Stability AI. Here we see the first steps of what put on those generative or analytically predictable slides. And from here we come to practical ones. Igor, please.
And to the practical ones, so interactive AI no-code platform. This idea came to us while working with several clients, looking at their platforms and looking at what and how they are developing their platforms with AI, Gen AI, and agents. So, in our mind, the interactive AI no-code platform will empower users to design, deploy, and refine intelligence application without requiring programming expertise. It will introduce new paradigm in human AI interaction by lowering technical barrier, enabling creators and all others to leverage AI for interactive storytelling, simulations, and productivity tools. Inside the platform will combine drag and drop workflows, natural language instructions, real-time AI assistant, and will allow users to build interactive agents, chat experiences, and dynamic simulations. Like, for example, creator can generate fully functional app that will respond to voice or text input, all within the visual interface, and integrated generative AI models will power the behaviors, and modular templates will streamline the development for new use cases. And as for the next case, Sam, please.
Thank you. It's our cats. Actually, it's quantum cats. With a demo with a pretty long story behind that. We started to create it last year, and it was to 2 expos in Singapore, where it was promoting both quantum and generative strategies for SoftServe. Then we put it as an artifact and created a paper regarding that. We submitted this paper to International Human System and Design Conference, and it passed through peer review in half an hour, which usually goes 2 weeks, and we have 3 positive responses in half an hour. And then we needed to create this paper. We described how we use generative AI in 3D to generate those cats and how to speed up performance of production of such a demo in mixed reality 80 or 90% on one hand. On the other hand, we uh, provided some visual clues for iconic Schrödinger experiment, and we shown this quantum entanglement when something here is changing and there is changing as well, but they are, but here and there not usually interconnected. As a the demo was to engage with people of financial vertical and so on, not to looking at the formulas, but have this engagement. And furthermore, when we interconnected study in quantum computing and study in generative AI, we got the third one in behavioral science. When people put the cats and poison in the boxes. If you put cute cat first, then people who love cats, or at least half of the audience who love cats, tend to put less poison, and cats has more chances to survive.
And on this note, to the next case. The case is about digital humans and virtual assistants. So we are dreaming and making the dream come true about digital humans powered by interactive AI that create natural life-like experiences that are emotionally engaging and that merge utility with entertainment. This case in particular combines a virtual shopping assistant with a fortune teller style digital guide. It demonstrates how AI-driven characters can support, inspire, and entertain in immersive environments. So the prototype featured hyper-realistic digital humans who interact naturally with users through speech, gestures, and emotions. In the shopping scenario, digital stylist helps customers to try on clothes virtually while offering some fashion advices targeted or personalized for the user. And in the fortune teller mode, the digital human engages with the user, predicting, giving the predictions and storytelling about the user's future. Everything was powered by generative AI, and both experiences show how digital humans can embody distinct roles, from practical assistants to companions in retail, gaming, customer engagement, and service. And as for the last case, it's an interactive AI-driven entertainment system. So our goal here was to explore the capabilities of Gen AI and AI assistant systems. And we decided that we need a cooler book, so we created an interactive book. And it was developed using Unreal Engine 5. GPT-4o generates the story content, like 2-3 paragraphs per page. The list 3 creates illustrations per each scene using GPT-4o description. And on the each page, user chooses between two options, shaping the direction of the story. And as I mentioned, everything was built in Unreal Engine 5 with some C++ blueprints for enhanced functionality, including scene transitions, generation logic, choice tracking, and dynamic content display. And we want to extend this one with voice narration, some animations, for example, like dancing quantum cats on the background, some VR AR support, and nonlinear branching structures, and future integrations with Google's models, because in some cases they are better in storytelling. And as for the impact of this, we decided to cite Google's guys. Agentic AI will reshape every job, task, and industry. And in our mind, interactive as a different branch of generative, working with generative and agentic, will reshape not only jobs, tasks, and industries, but the whole world. And jumping back to Sam.
And about the future, as we told that we are trying to keep to those warm and emotional connectional world, to keep those robots smiling, not only humans. We see that bright future of generative AI is already in place. We see promising future for agentic AI and envision that interactive AI has even brighter future beyond generative and agentic, maybe a bit smaller, but definitely brighter and more colorful. We invite you for collaboration or naturally looking for practical application for our experience and presented ideas, and we're going to answer the predefined questions which we already received, and welcome you to ask questions. Thank you.
Thanks for the great presentation. I think that was the great look into the interactive direction of interactive AI. And I've seen that there were a number of questions in the chat from our colleagues, and some you had already answered to them. So my question is, are there any questions you would like to elaborate additionally, or are there any additional questions from the audience?
I believe on the next slide there were several questions which were addressed beforehand.
Yeah.
So, on the first question regarding the platform, industrial, and so on, we don't have here experience, at least our team. So we pass on this question. Maybe a bit of background with Omniverse and industrial metaverse is applicable, but not too much. But all other four are pretty straightforward. So I start from what challenges we facing using generative AI. We are facing challenges as everybody. More GPUs, compute, more data, because it's usually not enough for needed synthetic. But not to keep too general, for instance, when we were creating cats, the state-of-the-art model from Tencent, Hunyan 2, wasn't done to create anything in T-pose. They trained it on A poses. To get T-pose from this model taken me prompts like page long. And I believe Igor can say something from text part or from other examples.
Well, sometimes it's a lack of data, sometimes it's, we have a lot of approaches right now for the LLMs, how to train them, how to fine-tune them, and as Sam mentioned, sometimes we have a very small subset of data that we need to train LLM on, like we did on one of the projects for the kids. And then LLM got us not so great results, I would say. So we experimented, played around. Also, as Sam mentioned about hardware availability, we struggled with this one as well. So we quantized our models and again, we're digging deeper than we should have been for this project, just to make the LLM as efficient as possible, to make it feed to the VRAM, and basically that's it.
Okay, and as we divided this previously, your turn is on agentic and models production process, and I go next with event-driven architectures.
Oh, well, how we add work with existing ML models trained on specific production processes to agentic AI. Basically, like everyone else, our go-to option is just to hook through MCP or use directly, if it's possible, through some open source libraries. Or you can just go to the Google. I'm always forgetting how this suite called. Sam, please help me.
Google Agentic
Google
Suite.
Agentic Suite, yeah. And inside there are a lot of tools you can choose from to basically insert to your pipeline some ML model like Vision, ISR, TTS, or stuff, and uh, just use it.
Okay, and from MCP to MCP, event-driven architecture, which will be trending in 2-3 years. Our bet is MCP, model control, context protocol, and A2A, agent-to-agent approach protocol, which is not yet as a protocol, but and autonomous pattern, which we see will be conducting to business research is a tool. So when we use agentic approach, when we address something, this entity is usually tool. So the short answer MCP, A2A, and tool. And the business question about the matrix, I actually wrote about this my master degree in UK this summer. Staying on the shoulders of giants, the guys who created, who got Nobel Prize in economics, Simon Ayeglu from Turkey, they tell that all the progress are making people living worse. So if you, until they are unionized, until they are making this responsible. So we see we can have put revenue to the main main KPI, but it could be first time you created something for several millions, and next time it won't make you several millions. You can replace people in the teams with mm, some kind of agents, coding agents, and other ones, and once again to get less. But if you augmented people with newer abilities, when you making the work a bit faster. So when you have like 35% of enhancement of your workflow, when you have, let's say, 6 people on the team and 1 or 2 agent augmented with agent engineers, and you just shorten a bit your software development life cycle, and you grow your profitability, then you can make this viable and good from the economical part to make people live better and to make business make more money.
Thanks for passing through the questions that were previously proposed by the audience, and it's good that we had such possibility to do so this time. I would encourage everyone who might have additional questions to ask them, or you can reach out Igor and Sam in Teams or externally in LinkedIn if you would like to do so. And then if there are no more additional questions, we would like to thank you for your time today. Hopefully you find that session interactive and yeah, found something new. And if you have the ideas, how we can bring it out to the world, I would like to contribute to such an initiative, always feel free to drop an email to R&D request domain. Thanks everyone, and see you next time at R&D Talk.
Thank you.
Thanks, Igor and Sam, for the great presentation.